Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to Sastrageek Step Up Circles. Parminder this side. Our today's session would be about BTP. We are going to give the overview of BTP. With that information, let's quickly get it started. And before I give it to Tarun, I will give a quick introduction about Tarun. Me and Tarun, we are connected from quite some long time for the different projects we have worked, and almost I think 3 years I'm in contact with the Tarun, and Tarun has collaborated in Sastrageek in multiple waves, in the trainings, uh, in the internship programs we run. There also he has included. He is expert into the SAP ABAP side. He started with ABAP, and from there he has worked onto the different technologies, having in total 13 plus years of experience. Very strong into the ABAP, and last few years he is also working onto the BTP side and doing projects in BTP. So apart from these things, whenever we select a trainer, we also want to make sure that the trainer should also be having a will to share the knowledge, right? And we found that in Tarun. Tarun is very passionate about sharing the knowledge, making sure whatever the things he know, he would explain to you. Okay, so based on that, we have selected Tarun. We have requested him, and we have requesting from last 6 to 9 months. But now we were able to get some time, and we would be doing this session on the overview, and very soon we'll start a batch on SAP BTP. With that brief, I will welcome Tharu to our Step Up Circles. Tarun, welcome to the Step Up Circle.
The target audience that I had in mind are beginners with basic programming knowledge, ABAP developers who want to upskill to BTP development models, Node.js and Java developers who want to onboard onto BTP for cloud native developers. But since there is a lot more audience over here, guests from the functional and people who work on the business end, we will start from the basics of what cloud is, and from there we'll speed up to CAPM demo. So this is what I'm trying to cover in today's meeting. Um, we'll go through cloud. What are the service models for it? How is the service model related to SAP BTP? And how can I develop an application on BTP? What are the development environments that's available? The cloud application programming model. What uh, I'll just go on a overview for that and then a demo. Okay, so let's start with cloud. What is cloud? So, cloud is the sharing of IT resources by providers over internet for consumers on demand. The resources can be servers, platforms, or softwares. The advantage being it lowers the cost by allowing companies to use only the resources that they need on demand. Companies do not need to build a big data center on their end for scalability and availability. So this lowers the total cost of ownership, helps maintain high availability and scalability of the systems. Going on to the deployment models. So how are these cloud models deployed? So based on the resource sharing, we have three three classifications. Yeah. So the public, private, and hybrid. So the public cloud is where the resources are shared among many customers, but the data can be accessed securely only by the respective customer. Going to the private side, here the resources are solely designated for one customer and no other party can access the same info. The hybrid cloud is a combination of public and private solutions. The customer would want to integrate their own infrastructure, like the on-premise, with that of the service provider. Just a second. Yeah. Going on to the service models. So, yeah, traditionally on the on-premise systems, we'll have the resources shared or the entire resources managed by the customer itself, like our ECC systems or the S/4HANA on-premise. Everything starting from the network level to the application is solely managed by the customer. Okay. But in the cloud models, the responsibility of the resources are shared. So it's shared between the provider and the consumer. So based on that, we have three service models. One is the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Let me get a bit deep into it. The infrastructure as a service is subscribing to the hardware resources based on your demand. This includes networking, storage, servers, and virtualization. Um, Whenever you need more or less resources, you can adapt to the subscription, which results in working more flexibly and making it more cost effective. The major IaaS providers are Amazon's AWS, Google's GCP, Microsoft Azure. Going on to the platform as a service. Um, so here the subscription model is on top of the virtual infrastructure that we have from the IaaS. We also include the runtimes, sometimes runtimes, and the middleware. So here you can adapt and extend the platform with your custom logic using predefined services, which you need to activate separately. Here, the provider ensures security, availability of the system, and the performance of the platform. Going on to software as a service, um, kind of like everything is a SaaS solution nowadays. You go into Netflix, you go for Google Documents, all your mobile apps, all are software as a service. Um, so all it's basically subscribing to an application based on your demand and your need. You don't have much ability to customize the SaaS services. You can only consume them and sometimes make some small configurations. The SAP solution for SaaS, the public cloud S/4HANA, SuccessFactors Ariba, and going on to the main topic that we have at hand, um, SAP solution for platform as a service, SAP BTP. Let's get into that. Okay, so this is a definition that I could shown up with for SAP Business Technology Platform. So SAP Business Technology Platform, the BTP is an integrated platform as a service offering from SAP that leverages modern technology to enable and transform business processes and drive business value and better customer experience. So it's basically technology related improvements that has been brought under a single umbrella. And this is what we call as the foundational pillars of BTP. And the profiles are application development, automation, integration, data analytics, artificial intelligence. App dev for all the build and innovation works, automation for optimizing all your processes, integration for connecting with your landscape or another landscape, third party, data analytics it, for the governing and better understanding of the data, AI. Yeah, AI is the buzzword. SAP now has Gen AI through Joule and more other services. So why do we need BTP? So BTP enables you to create personalized user experience with SAP apps. So you can also build agile business apps and extend the existing SAP solutions across business processes. And finally, yeah, you get to run a robust enterprise grade platform, which is very secure. Um, Another thing why we would prefer BTP is again the total cost of ownership to maintain the SAP landscape with third parties across the business processes. It would be much lower. You just have to subscribe to the services that you need. You can scale it up, you can scale it down. I hope not. But then, yeah, it's a service-based model for enterprise to go forward. So, just looking at this diagram, you can see BTP, the foundation is the five pillars that we mentioned over here. And on top of it, we have the line of businesses, the HR, logistics, CX, all of that. And you can also have the SaaS solutions integrated upon it. Excuse me. um, the SaaS solutions can be integrated upon it, and you can also extend the solutions with your customizations, whatever you need. Yeah. So the SAP solutions. Yeah, the different lines of businesses, we already know about them. The core ones being the logistics, FI, HR, the customer experience, all those stuff. But SAP also offers SaaS solutions. That is the S/4HANA Cloud, Signavio, SuccessFactor, Concur, Ariba, Fieldglass. So um, along with the services, the customer would always want some kind of customization, enhancement, all those things. But the idea behind BTP is to keep the core clean. They don't want their core solution to be damaged or enhanced. They so for that they have provided extensibility. So how do we do extensibility? Extensibility is done through app development tools, specifically catering with uh, the extension points or new APIs. It's a seamless integrated platform with the integration suite and the event meshes. So yeah, the five pillars of BTP. So app dev, automation, integration, data analytics, and AI. Uh, this is an overview of the features and the services that SAP provides. Um, there are a lot more services under each of these categories. I can hardly go through all of it. But then, yeah, if you want to explore more, go to discoverycenter.cloud.sap to know more of that. But then let's just go through an overview of all the five pillars. Um, App development. It focuses on empowering developers to create, deploy, and manage applications efficiently. It offers various development tools and services to support different programming languages and development approaches. App development also integrates AI functionalities to support developers. Um, SAP BTP also supports low code, no code development, allowing business users to create applications without extensive coding knowledge. Going on to the apps, the services that's provided under app dev are the business application studio, that's the IDE, that's unified, the build code, that's again unified development, but then it's more on a productive tool side. The build apps is the low code, no code solution, and the build work zone, that's for the user interface. For automation, automation within BTP enables organizations to streamline the repetitive tasks, improves their efficiency, and reduce manual interventions in the business process. This could include uh, business process automations for automating routine tasks as data entries or invoice processing. And you can also use the intelligence situation automation. It analyzes the issues that's at hand in your system and provides an automated solution which you can implement. Going on to integration. Integration enables seamless communication and data exchange between different systems, applications, and data centers. SAP BTP offers the integration suite to facilitate connections across the on-premise system, the cloud systems, the partners, the external providers or customers through APIs. It also has connectivity services, event meshes, master data integration. Going on to the data and analytics. The data analytics capability of SAP BTP empowers an organization to derive insights from their data, uh, making it making them have more informed decisions and drive the business outcomes. Um, this includes services like data warehousing, uh, data sphere, the SAP HANA Cloud, the Analytics Cloud, and the MDG. And finally, the buzzword AI. Uh, so, SAP's AI offering is on the comprehensive side, um, with all the LLMs that they have already tuned their end. The offering that they have for customers like us is the SAP AI Core and generative AI, which is what they're trying to push nowadays. Um, so they enable organizations to harness the power of AI to foster innovations, enhance efficiency, and provide additional value for the customers. I hope that gives a very brief idea of what BTP is, because now we will go a bit more deeper for the development side. We'll keep the rest aside for future sessions. Going on to the first pillar and focusing on the development side of BTP. So, application development. So, it provides both the front end and back end developers to develop applications on BTP. Straight statement. But it also caters to um, business users to develop applications with a no code scenario. How does that work? The unified development platform, it's SAP Build Apps, is the solution that SAP has come up with for consultants and business users to create a drag and drop based builder for making apps. And you can easily connect with the backend S4HANA and the HANA database. Um, on the other end, we have the Pro Code development. So for Pro Code development, we have the Business Application Studio, the tried and trusted image of VS Code on SAP, and you can have um, any kinds of libraries, languages, frameworks supported on the Business Application Studio. Um, Talking about frameworks, the major frameworks that we have at our end are the SAP CAPM, SAP ABAP Cloud, and SAP UI5, to name a few. Now, SAP doesn't stop with just the low code and pro code. It has created Fusion development. Now, what is Fusion development? Um, let's take the productive tool features of build apps and the coding features of Business Application Studio, and let's just churn it up together, mix it. It's a Fusion development, and this is handled through the build code. Now, there's a lot to explore in build code. It can take you to business apps as well as build application studio. We will look into that at a later stage. Now, going on to the UI level, For UI, um, it's catered with the build work zone for all your website related tasks, SAP Mobile for all your mobile application, SAP Start for most other cloud UI solutions. Um, the application development runs on it. We always need a runtime environment to run applications, and SAP provides three, as of now, three uh, runtime environments: uh, the BTP Cloud Foundry, the Kima, and the ABAP environment. Let's focus on Cloud Foundry for this demo session. Just go a bit deeper though. So we saw, excuse me, Cloud Foundry, Kima, and ABAP as the BTP runtime environments. But you can see Neo over here. So Neo is the original SAP cloud environment SAP created, seeing Amazon, Google, and all create their own uh, infrastructures. So this is a very rigid environment. It only allows Java development, HTML development, and it's based on HANA database. It's not at all flexible. And because of that reason, SAP is set to sunset this project at the end of 2028. So we'll not discuss about Neo any further. Going on to Cloud Foundry, Kima, and ABAP. So Cloud Foundry enables development of new applications, business services, and supports multiple runtimes, libraries, and languages. It lets you stay focused on your code, not the configurations for your infrastructure. The languages that it supports are Node.js, PHP, Java, Python, to name a few. Yeah, and it also supports SAP's very own CAPM. Kima environment. Kima also supports the same set of languages, but it is run based on Kubernetes architecture, and it lets developers extend SAP solutions with serverless functions using containerized microservices. Um, Going on to ABAP, my very own dear ABAP environment. It's a cloud-enabled environment to manage extensions from the traditional SAP systems using the ABAP Cloud Framework. Let's just go right into CAPM from here. So we'll be using the Cloud Foundry for our development as the runtime, and the language would be Node.js, and here, CAPM. So CAPM Cloud Application Programming Model. CAP is a framework of languages, libraries, and tools for building services and applications. CAP-based projects focused on the domain and accelerated development. It features a mix of proven and broadly adapted open source SAP technology. It's agnostic in nature. What does agnostic mean? It lets um, all kinds of DBs, all kinds of app servers, all kinds of UI. That's the word meaning for it. But then out of the box, BTP supports HANA Cloud as the DB, Node.js and Java as the languages, and the frameworks would be the runtimes would be the Express for Node.js and Spring Boot for Java, and out of the box solution for UI would be Furious. But then, yeah, you can have any kind of DB, any kind of app server, any kind of UI run on CAPM. Just to go a bit more deeper on the CAP framework. So, yeah, So on top of the open source technologies that we have, SAP has developed core data services, which is basically a universal uh, modeling language for both the domain model and the service definitions. So it's taken out features from both the libraries of Node.js and uh, Java. It also has the service SDK and runtimes for Java and Node.js, offering libraries to implement and consume services. Uh, Now, for the infrastructure, the SDKs of Node.js and Java are used. So any Node.js and Java developer can uh, onboard and work on the system. For the development tools, there are two major development tools that's used over here for uh, in in-app kind of development. We have the Business Application Studio, and for local development, we have the VS Code. Going into Serious, Serious is the backbone of CAP. It's a modeling language to capture both the data model and the service definition. The data model is then deployed into the DB artifacts using the service SDKs. The service SDKs being from the Node.js and Java profiles. Um, the same data models are then consumed as services through the UI infrastructure, mainly SAP Fury. Now, what do we have next? Yeah, the demo. So let me just get into my system. Meantime, Pamela, should we let it open for any questions?
Yeah, it's a good time to open for the questions. Anyone has any kind of questions, feel free to ask. Few people have a question related to whether if they need to learn this BTP CAPM course, which we are going to start, whether any ABAP related knowledge is required. And Sandeep has a question, does it require node knowledge? Uh, so I think that is one thing which we can answer, that anyone who wants to learn this BTP, what is the prerequisite they should have? That's a few questions. Anyone has any other question? You can
Okay,
please feel free to put in chat.
yeah, so the prerequisite, as I told, for this course is basically a willingness to learn, and uh, you should have some basic knowledge for programming. And yeah, knowing Node.js would be really helpful because it helps you cover the coding part of it. But then CAPM is a framework where you can have very little code interaction, because you solely focus on just the logic creation. You'll be not focused on the basic setup of the services that you consume for our data or the data models. There's a lot of uh, simplified simplified form for developer. It CAPM has a lot of productivity tools that lets you do all these things. So knowing Node.js or Java is good, but e- even if you know the basics of coding, it's fine to get on board.
Okay, so we have a question from uh, Amjad. What is the focus of this course? Is it a cloud ABAP?
No, it's not cloud app. The focus of the course is on the cloud app is basically the RESTful app programming model. This is focused on the other side of it, basically side-by-side extensions for the S4 HANA um, solution. So it's Java or Node.js development for the SAP solutions.
We have another question from Sandeep. Sir, can I manage as I don't have a coding knowledge? I only have scripting knowledge in Linux. Sir, does SAP CPI integrated inside SAP BTP? So I think there are two questions. First question is if the Linux knowledge is there, then can people understand SAP BTP? That is the first question.
Uh, Coming to the first question, Linux knowledge. So if you are working on SQL and all, um, that's again a bit of coding skill that you have. You can always learn newer languages. Getting on board with Node.js or JavaScript as a coding language would be something that you could try for. And yeah, you can also get into this course for that. I didn't catch the other question.
Other question is does the SAP CPI integrated inside SAP BTP?
Yes, the SAP CPI, or in the cloud terms, we have it called the integration suite. It is it's an integral part of BTP. It's basically what makes connectivity from uh, S4 to all other solutions possible, or any SaaS solutions that's integrated with SAP. It goes through the CPI integrations. Um, yeah, uh, there is also the API hub that also provides all the base connection related artifacts.
Thank you for that answer, Tarun. And just to let you guys know that focus of this course would not be the CPI. We are planning because BTP offers multiple things, so we are planning another separate training on SAP BTP CPI. So that would be very good training for the basis guys. Then
Okay.
Ramival has a question. Can this demo you are doing now be replicated by us using the trial account without additional SAP infrastructure?
Yes. So the SAP provides a trial account that you can manage for 90 days. Uh, if you keep logging in every 30 days, you can extend it for 90 days. And this course is mainly based on the free tier BTP account. So yeah, that would be. Uh, I'll go through how you can get the free tier BTP account, and the entire course is based out of it. We'll be using services that's from BTP for our course material. Also show you what the service is.
Amjad has one more question. Can Fury apps to be developed? Can Fury apps be developed on BTP? Can we develop Fury apps on BTP?
Yes, yes. Fiori apps is the way to have a user interface over here. Going forward, SAP recommends having only Fiori front end for pro code applications. Um, yeah. You can also do Fiori development on the Business Application Studio.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. There's a couple of one question is related to the career counseling. Sandeep, just stay till last. I will answer your career related question. Praveen is asking the batch related to TM. We have just started a batch. I think today only we have started. The session number one was there for TM support team. Aman, please provide the information to Praveen for SAP TM details. Yeah, Tarun, you can go ahead now. I think we have answered all of the questions.
Okay, so coming back to the problem statement that we have at hand. So a company ABC requires an incident management application that can report incidences back to the backend services in its S4HANA cloud. So let's break this down. there are various business processes within the S/4HANA cloud, and you would want to integrate with one of the services from that. But then for that, you need to create something that's not breaking the S/4HANA cloud. You need to create an application that stands outside the S/4HANA system. And that is what we are going to do with the CAP project in BAS. So we will just focus on the app creation for now. We'll not go for integration because if I include integration, this is going to take like uh, the demo itself will take like 1.5, 2 hours. So we'll just stick on to the app development. We'll create a CAP project in BAS. We will add a data model. We'll add a service definition. We'll expose the OData from the service definition to a UI. We'll create a Fury app very quickly and then try and deploy it to the Cloud Foundry. Okay, let's go for the ride. So this is the Business Application Studio. This is the full stack cloud application uh, flavor of it. I've taken one of the dev spaces, created a dev space called MTA demo. There would be lots of terms that I might use that you might not understand during this session. Please bear with me. We will cover this in a later session or during the time of the course. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing, I am in projects directory and I want to create a new folder for incident management. Pardon my spellings. I hope I don't make any spelling mistakes today. Let's see. We have got edit projects. Do I have an incident management? Yes, I do. Let's open it. Yeah, pretty much a blank folder. So we are starting from the scratch. So this is one of the capabilities of our productive tools that SAP has brought up called the storyboard, which we will not be using today. We will go for something very, very simple, the most basic form. Okay, so what's the first thing that I need to do? I need to create a CAP project. I need to create a CAP project from this same directory called incident management. So what is the command for it? cds init. What happens? Suddenly, there are lots of folders that appear over here. You might be familiar with a few, you might not. So here, let's just go through an overview of it. The apps folder basically holds all the UI artifacts. It's empty as of now. Everything will be empty as of now. The DB folder would hold all the database artifacts, and the SRV will be holding all the app services artifacts. This is a bit more on the tricky side. We will go back to them if we have time today, or we'll go to them on a later stage. So now that we have the basic structure over here, let's create the first thing would be a domain level artifact that we need to create. So what is the domain level artifact that we have? We need to create a data model, and a data model with CDS being our framework. Let's go there and create co.cds. Yeah. Now, the most basic unit that we can have in a data model is something called entity. So entity is a design time uh, artifact that basically captures the structure of how you want to push the data or pull the data. So let me create incidents as my entity. And what should be the parameter in it? I should have a number that or line item of incidents that we will be using. Let's call it incident number string 10. Now I need to have the description of the incident. So incident description 255. Yeah, I'm good with that. I also need to capture a very unique ID that can be put across the database. So for that, we have the CUID as an aspect. I also need to capture who created the incident and what time, what day, all those things. So I'll go for managed aspect. Oh, I don't know why it's showing these curly lines. So let's see why it's showing the curly lines. No, um, we went in saying that this would be a serious related library object. We haven't declared that at all. So using the CDS comments library, we are going to initiate this the data model. What are the aspects that would be using? CUID and managed. Okay, there are zero problems over here. All good. It's nothing over here. Let's do one small thing. Let's also have a split screen that shows what we are doing and how it is reflecting on the backend. Okay, there's no destination, there's nothing. Looks a bit weird though. Yeah. So there is no service defined found in the model. Let's wait for it to arrive. So I need to create a service. Just before that, let me give this a unique name that I can connect further along. Namespace, let's say my project. So this would be the unique name that I will identify my project going forward with. Now, we have the data model ready. Let's go for a service definition. What is my service? Incident service dot CDS. Let's create it. So service, let's give a service name. Incident manager. Okay. Now, what is a service? Service is what exposes your data model to the outside world. So what do we have as a data model? Let's call our data model using what was the namespace that we gave? My project as an alias my, and where is this located? It's located at DB core over here, DB core. Now we need to expose this service. So We'll take the entity as a projection. Isn't it? Yeah, entity as a projection, and we'll use the entity projection's name would be incident manager as a projection of my incident event. Oh, sorry, incident incidents entity. Now we have a service created, we have a domain created, and let's see what this says. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Hmm. Okay. So now we have that. We have entity service out OData service that's created. Let's see how that looks like. So this basically shows us that there's a OData service, a V4 OData service called Incident Manager that's ready for consumption. Let's see the metadata for it. So it's basically a blank one because we don't have any data stored as such. We just have a service that's set to accept data. Let's go one step back. There are no web services as of now. We only have an OData. So what do we do next? We need to create a UI, user interface. The easiest way to do is with the open application generator for Fiori. Let's see what it does. Okay, I need to scroll this down a bit. I can't see anything at all. So this is one of the productive tools that SAP has delivered for generating UI elements, especially Fiori elements, at a much faster pace. So we'll be using the templates. We'll use a list report page as our template. Next, the data source would be local CAP project. And as we identified the incident management project that we created and the incident management OData service, which is on Node.js runtime. It has also identified the incident manager as the main entity, and it will add table columns going forward. Project name. The module name would be Incident Manager Manager. Namespace. It's my project. We did use my project. The description is an SAP Fiori app. Minimum version for UI should be this. It should have a FLP. Yes, we do need a Fiori Launchpad. Okay. Wow, more questions. What does it need now? It needs to configure something for us. Let's say a custom incident notification, which is a managed action. And what kind of title should I give? Incident manager. Finish. I do nothing. SAP does everything. SAP creates a UI application form. If you look here, there is an incident manager folder that SAP creates. It has its own service CDS. We just go a bit deeper. There's a web app over here. It has a web app. It has its related folder, its content, all of which we'll discuss in a subsequent class because all of it are relevant while we debug the application. It also has annotation.cds. You can make it as beautiful as you want. Let's go back a bit. Hmm, did I lose it entirely? No, a web application has been created. Let's see how the Fury app looks. Oh, yes, this is the Fury app. There is no data, I agree, but this is the base of what we have. We can do some annotation changes over here. We can make this the incident number, incident description. We need to add some data over here. Let's do all of that. So going into the annotation file of the UI side, let's first do the label changes. Incident number and incident description. That would be at the group stage, and at the line item stage, I'll have incident number and incident description. Let's see if it reflects over here. Yeah, right away. You needn't do much. You have the incident number labeling all come proper. What do we need to do next? We need to add some data. Now, SAP has a straightforward feature called OData draft enable. This lets you enter data right away as a draft stage table. So there are different kinds of tables that you have. You have your proper database table. You have some uh, temporary data that's stored as a draft. So all this data that you're going to create would be as a draft for now. And we have a create icon. Let's create an incident. Incident number, my first incident. What would be my first incident? Yeah, I need to change my phone. Yeah, problem with the phone. Issue with my mobile. Let's create the first incident. The object has been created. Let's go back and go. There you have it. So this Fury app is able to register your input, and it takes this input and goes back to the OData services. Let's create one more entry. Again, this would be in the draft table. There's an entry created. There are two entries as of now. Now, so what we have done so far, we have created the data model. We have created a service definition that exposes the OData to an outside world, and we consume the OData through Fury Elements app. And I believe this should be a pretty small amount of time. Yep. So what next do we have? So we have the app ready. Next is to push this to the Cloud Foundry runtime environment. All the objects that you created are design time objects. We need to push them to Cloud Foundry, have them the database created on the HANA Cloud, and we can use the service from BTP for further services. Now, for that, let's start here with, let's enhance the project first. So this would be some terms that you will not be knowing, but bear with me. HANA, so this will be for the HANA database, multi-target application, this is UAA, that would be my security and app router to manage my application services. So this basically adds in the features. Just a second. Which one is this? Yeah, excuse me. So this basically adds the multi-tugged application feature, the feature for security, the HANA database, and the app router. Excuse me. Now we need to ensure this data that's stored in the packet lock JSON is frozen. So we go for the command update package lock only. So this basically locks all these values that's meant for this particular service. Okay, now that's done. So we have everything stored over here and we have an mta.yaml file that's created. This would be the file that we'll use in our further deployment. So what do we do next? We need to push the YAML file to Cloud Foundry. So I need to log into Cloud Foundry first. Log in. Hopefully I can have the credentials done right. Mm, Okay. Okay. I have an issue here. Let's see. Hmm, Okay. I have an issue with the authentication. It's not, I think I possibly would have some issues with it. I'm not sure what happened. So what happens next from here is basically the the mta.yaml file, it gets archived, and the last step over here would be to do a deployment of the YAML file to the uh, Cloud Foundry. So, um, sorry, I couldn't complete the deployment, but that would be the all in all of the deployment functionality of our demo. Um, yeah, is there any questions that needs answering?
There are a few questions about the chat. Tarun.
The chat.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me try finding it. Yeah. Uh, where is it? Okay.
Narsimha Raju has a question. How do we access custom application developed using BAS in production environment?
So the custom application that you develop would be in spaces within the BTP. So in BTP, you have, let me see if I can pull this over here. Okay. So, uh, so in your BTP trial account, you have your global account. The global account would be having sub accounts. The sub accounts are basically what we call the environments for when if we compare it with ABAP, our say dev environment, QA environment, we have a prod environment. So as you have the custom app developed in the dev environment, you have to have this code uh, pushed to the next environments to reach production, and the access will be usually through an API or a web link. questions that we have.
Next
So
question
can
is,
I manage?
can BTP integrate with ECC, HANA on-premise and HANA Cloud? HANA on Rise by Anil.
Definitely. Um, the purpose of having BTP is twofold. One, um, to get into cloud as such, to move the infrastructure away from the customers. So SAP wants everyone to move into S4 HANA Cloud, but there is an option for having a private cloud or an on-premise system. So yeah, the features or the AI capabilities or the service that's there in BTP uh, can be consumed from the S/4HANA Cloud Private as well as the on-premise through connectivity services that's provided by BTP. You can have connectivity services, and you can have the cloud connector for on-premise. And now, guys, team batch. Why do push the app to the Cloud Foundry? Because we have developed it only in so again, the Business Application Studio is a service for developing apps on BTP. It is not directly done on Cloud Foundry. So you develop the app on Business Application Studio. Once you're done with that, you need to push that. So it's integrated ID like your Eclipse or VS Code. It is an IDE that runs on cloud. You need to push all this data into your Cloud Foundry once you're done with the development and you want to deploy it and you want to have it moved across systems, landscapes. Is there a way to see the incident data in DB backend? Yeah. When it's deployed and we have the HANA connection done, uh, so the artifacts that we created, the entity that we created, all of that would become real tables in HANA Cloud. So when you go to HANA Cloud, you can have the table for the permanent data as well as the temporary data as drafts. So you can see all this data in the HANA Cloud. And that's from where you retrieve the data for your application purposes. Parminder, is there any other questions from your end?
Let me check. Just give me a minute. You answered the question from Ramiwal, right? Is there a way we can see the incident
Yeah,
data in the... Okay, okay.
yeah, I did.
So I think we have answered all of the questions. Can we also quickly go through the content which we'll be
Yeah, yeah,
covering
sure.
during the training?
Yeah, this is the course content. Sorry. Yeah, this would be the course content. So we went through this today, the cloud computing, the models and terminologies. We went a bit brief over here on the SAP BTP, uh, and we went a bit on the CAP architecture, and we did a demo for it. The entire thing would be the evolution of BTP technology, from where this would be a minor part. Clean core paradigm is basically the principle for having BTP. And then we'll have the architecture of Cloud Foundry, how the various business services can be utilized for our development. And the business services includes all your SaaS related applications as well as the services related to your line of business like logistics, finance, things like that. We will go through the BTP fundamentals on how the account setup is done, the sub accounts and the environments, their services and instances over there. And when we get into the coding part of it, we will have a very basic training on Node.js. The local development environment for doing our coding would be VS Code. Um, if you don't have VS Code, also you can use the Business Application Studio on cloud, but then it's better to have VS Code because you can have local repository of your download. We'll have a walkthrough of the various aspects of Business Application Studio. How do we do version management for all the code that we have? Security, authentication, and authorizations, and how do we secure these services? And we will go through all of CAPM, the architecture, how we can do customization, how we can handle events, how the different design time objects get converted into runtime objects, the concepts behind it, the OData operations, the CRUD operations. We did a Fiori preview today. The CF deployment. Sorry, I couldn't show that, but then, yeah, the deployment and how we can see the application in the Cloud Foundry environment. We'll go through the connectivity of how we can interact with different services and we can connect with the on-premise and cloud S/4HANA systems, multi-target application, how you can deploy the application for various customers, various views. We'll also go over a preview of the Fury elements, the annotations that's necessary for doing all these things. And then we'll come into the productive side of building the code, the build code, the productive tools, how to utilize Joule in Business Application Studio, uh, the build process automation. We'll have one process created, see how it works, and we'll have one of the application posted to the business books. I mean, I'm
Thank
done
you.
from my end.
Thank you, Tarun. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions related to BTP? Anyone has any question related to BTP? Now we are jumping into some specific questions. If anyone has any question, you can, and if you want to speak your question, you want to ask by unmuting yourself, you can raise your hand and then we'll allow you to unmute yourself so that we will be able to answer your question. I don't see any of the question. I don't see any of the hand raised. So we would be quickly jumping to the career counseling session. Amjad has a question. Let me, Amjad Jamdar. Go ahead, Amjad. You will be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, Amjad, go ahead.
Amjad, you are unmuted. Are you able to hear Amjad? Okay, Amjad, I think there's some issue with the mic. We are not able to hear you. By the time I'm giving
Okay.
unmute access to Sandeep.
Hello, sir. Very good evening.
Hi, Sandeep. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi,
Hi.
Sandeep.
Sir, my question is like, does BAPI Badi, that is an ABAP, does that or any kind of smart form required in this BTP or something?
No, the BADI and BAPI concepts are exclusive to ABAP development. What
Okay.
we have instead for CAPM would be APIs, and if you want to leverage the BAPI, so BADI would be more of an enhancement technique for
Mhm.
ABAP Cloud, and BAPI, we can use the BAPIs as a custom wrapper created for it, or if SAP has released a wrapper for it, we can use them to integrate it with the side-by-side solutions that we create with CAP applications. So yeah, you don't require them as such, but if there is a specific development that you have, custom development that you have in your ABAP system that
Okay.
wants to leverage a CAP solution, then yeah, we can have a custom wrapper, or if SAP has at least an API, stable API, we'll use that to access the PADI.
Sir, SAP CPI knowledge will be an added advantage, huh? Right?
Um,
In BTP,
so
like
let,
integration
let,
part
let
and all.
no so let's split the responsibilities of people in the BTP environment. Um, People who have worked as administrators, as database admins and all, they would move into a role of admin for BTP, as admin for Kima, or admin for Cloud Foundry, or admin for BTP as such. The people who have been working on XI, PI, PO, those will be the people who would benefit from Integration Suite, CPI, and people who have worked mainly as developers would be getting into all the flavors of BAS development. You can have all the services. So it's
Yeah.
all segregated. Yeah, it's good to know the uh, the integration suite, but it's a pretty huge uh, area to dwell into. You can't know everything and be an expert on the build side of things and the integration side of things. If you want to be an architect, yeah, definitely. But if you are going as a developer, you need to focus on what exactly you need to be
Mhm. Got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
in. Yeah. There's a question.
Ashwin, do you have any
Um,
question?
Hi, sir. Good evening. It's a
yeah,
small
hi,
question
Ashwin.
is this BTP, right? This cloud platform integration, I think, are they correlated or, are they interdependent? What is the relationship actually?
BTP and
And This,
cloud platform.
Fury, are they all like interdependent on each other? Because it seems they are most recent
So,
technologies.
so okay. Um,
Because I'm
uh,
trying for
um,
a US market, how will be the jobs be dependent on this technology?
okay.
So
Yeah.
need some
So,
clarity.
so okay. So, can you tell me what's your background on, like, what development model? Like, were you an ABAPer, or were you in Java development? Okay. Since didn't get an answer on that. Okay. BTP is BTP is basically what you say, like your SAP GUI, but it's on a very large scale. So the front end for BTP is entirely based on Fury, Fury elements, UI5. You can have React, we can have Vue, all those things. Uh, On an application level, you as a developer can use Java, Python, or you can use Node.js for BTP developments. And for the admin work, you can have you can work on the schema environment. You can work on the Kubernetes. You can work on uh, still we have the ABAP environment still there. So yeah, it's basically uh, you have to know Fury if you want to work on BTP as a developer. Yeah. What is the duration of the course? So this could be around 35 hours. Yeah. BTP RAP versus, I believe, what is BTP RAP versus CAPM? When to go to BTP CAP? Okay. So the RESTful ABAP programming model is mainly focused on the on-stack extensibility for ABAP development. So you all know S4 HANA. S4 HANA as a solution still has a lot of ABAP in it. Now, when you work with transactional data, you always want to be much closer to the database and the application. You always want a constant interaction with the data, and it is basically a very tightly coupled scenario for your application and your SAP core system. So in that scenarios, we will prefer going with RAP. RAP also has the cloud flavor to it by enabling it through the ABAP cloud framework. You have to maintain your development, the coding structure, the coding language should be catering to of it should meet the standards of ABAP cloud. You can't have the enhancements as you like. The core of the S4 HANA SAP standard code has to be maintained. So in that scenarios, we always use RAP. Where does CAPM come? Now, CAPM comes when you want uh, just the minimal information. You don't need transactional data. You need only once in a while information from S4, or you want to log data into your S4 HANA system. In that cases, we can use CAPM. The advantage of CAPM is that you can um, have a very versatile application. You can have a microservices, smaller applications that's clustered together and caters to the say one of the logistic processes. So yeah, this is how you can classify when you need uh, CAP and ABAP Cloud. Hey,
And
Venkat, yeah,
any
this would be for a developer perspective. Yeah, the perspective is for developers.
Okay, okay, thank you, everyone. Do anyone has any career-related question before we end this call for today? I have a hand raised by Chiranjeet. Hi, Chiranjeet, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, Chiranjeet.
Sir, I have this career related question.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm working in a refinery as a
Mm.
planning engineer.
Okay.
Uh, the the work conditions are it's a little bit unhealthy side, so I have some health issues. So I wanted to come back to the SAP.
Okay. Are
And
you using their SAP as the end user currently, Chiranjeet?
No, sir. I'm not working in SAP, but I'm working as a planning engineer. We are doing the planning activities in Excel.
Okay, you're doing the planning activities in the Excel. Okay, got it, got it. Have you tried to apply job outside Chiranjit after this job? This is the recent one you have joined, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So what is the outcome from applying job outside? Okay, Chiranjit, you need to be unmute, otherwise,
Yes, sir.
mm,
Sorry, sir. Actually, I have not been able to no, apply them because they do not allow all these mobile phones and inside the refinery.
okay, okay,
So the communication is a little, difficult from here.
okay. So what do you want? Do you want to leave the job or you want to continue the job?
So the job is not that difficult. I want to leave it because of my health concerns, sir.
Hmm. Okay. I think, Chiranjit, we need a little bit more detailed discussion.
Right, sir.
Because I think we were into the discussion that you was about to join the Gurukul program, but then you joined this job, right? So I have asked, okay, you go ahead with it. But I need
Right, sir.
to understand a little bit detail. So if you can
Right.
ask support team, they will get you in touch with me. A quick call, they will get it set up next week. And then I will try to understand the things a little deeper, and then I will try to suggest you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Sandeep.
Hi, sir. Very good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sandeep.
Sir, I have total 4 year, almost 5 months years of experience, 4 year, 5 month. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
first 2 year, almost to that, it's into absolutely into non-tech category. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Operation and all. Then the next 2 years, 3 to 4 months, it's into like SAP basis. I am currently also got an opportunity in basis also. I have taken 1 year gap due to some health issues and all. So currently, like I got an opportunity in basis. So previously also I was working in basis. So previous organization are like Capgemini and Forces due to which like recently I got into basis. So the thing is that I have some community inside SAP and all. They have been saying like basis is going to die, and the real thing is that also due to the cloud and all, everything is there. And I think in previous day, in upcoming days, like absolutely SAP is going to handle. So currently, I'm just planning a like career transition towards it should be like in CPI or MM because my background graduation background is from mechanical engineering. So that's the confusion, sir.
Okay. So you worked 2.5 years in operations, and now last 2 years you are working as SAP basis consultant, right?
Exactly, sir.
So now it totally depends that do you want to continue into the technical side? There's one thing is that the SAP basis is going to die. So because of that, we need to select a module. That's one thing. Second thing is that the kind of work you're doing with basis, are you
Okay.
happy with it, with the same kind of work? Then we need to search into the same tracks. If you say that I'm not that happy, I that is more technical in nature, I want to go in functional, then we can have another discussion.
Yes, sir. The thing is that it's not like other module. This is the issue and this is the resolution, right? So here in basis, like there is no like proper resolution is there. If I am following any kind of S notes or something, if I apply with this X organization, it will work. If I apply the same with Y organization, it won't work. That is the biggest challenge. I'm frustrated inside that also. So that is my biggest challenge also.
No, that kind of thing is troubleshooting.
Yes,
Might as
yes,
well see
exactly.
what happened, what are the parameters has been selected, which is not working, and then we need to technically try to troubleshoot it, do some
Exactly, exactly.
trial,
Yes, sir.
hit and trial. We need to do it, right? Those things are there in basis. That's a part of the job. So if you're
Yes,
not liking that thing, it means you're not liking the work which is done in the basis.
exactly.
So, as if you will be asking in the basis side where you need to grow, I will suggest you to do SAP BTP CPI, Cloud Platform Integration, which we are bringing it very soon.
Okay.
So that one you can do it, but it would be again the similar kind of work. But if you say that, okay, this work I don't like and I want to completely switch, right? If
Okay.
you want to completely switch, then in that case, you need to go with the functional module based on
Yeah.
your operation experience. In that case, I would ask you, tell me no, let me know that during your experience of 1.5 to 2 years in operations, what kind of things you was doing? What?
Like I was into a fintech organization, okay, 1.5 year around that. So there my role was into like operation activities, like checking with the loan manager. Like I have not been into telecalling, but the thing is that I was into like supportive work and doing some Excel, Power BI. I have been using Power BI and Tableau also for data extraction and all. And I have like little bit of knowledge into SQL as well, like for the data extracting and creating some report and sending it back. And yes, this is the thing. And I have 6 months into like Byju's, that is also similar to that. And as I have been with the end user of Salesforce there as well. So it's this is the thing, sir.
Okay, so that is also not that operational. You was just extracting some reporting and that kind of thing you're doing, right?
Yes.
That reports are in which functional areas, which domain, whether it's sales, marketing, uh,
Yes, it's into sales only.
sales. Okay, okay. Then based on your experience, and you are a mechanical engineer, did you get any exposure into the manufacturing?
Yes, like I was there for a week, one organization. But the thing is that there were some health issue on my leg due to the shoe. So I have to left that. But I was quite interested in bill of material, like material stock, and these many things. Like I've been studied in BTech and my graduation degrees as well. So that is why I'm thinking for like MM or any other like similar functionalities. So
If you, because you are mechanical, you have gone through the industrial engineering, and if you have
yes,
overview of manufacturing, you can try to go for SAP PP also. PP is more niche compared to SAP MM.
okay, production planning. Huh?
Yeah, it would be more difficult than MM and more niche than MM.
Okay, sir, do you have a like PP module as well?
Yeah, we have a PP module as well, and just drop an email to support@sastrageek.com and they will give you the details of the PP training.
Okay.
Or if the support team is still there, they can give you the.
Yes, sir, exactly. Exactly. One of my friend is there. He's on my same organization. He was also suggesting me this one because this PP, as you told, like he was also saying, this is a like quite interesting because MM like now it's a huge demand, but in future like PP is the extraction of that and like multiple openings will be there very soon in like PP production planning, and it would be great if you will do that. So. Uh, I was like not exactly into that. So he have just informed me this way. Like he's a fresher joined in my organization, and he was being saying me this one. He like, "Bhai, बढ़िया है PP." Yes.
Yeah, you can try for PP because you are from mechanical background, and you can try for it.
Okay, sure, sure. Thank you for your help. I have already booked your session, but it is like after 1 to 2 months.
Mhm.
So thank you for the session.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Have a great day, sir. Bye bye.
Sure. Thank you, thank you. We have answered all of the questions. We and the people who are still there, just to let them know. Okay, for PP link is also available in the chat, so you can take the link from the chat. And all of the people, make sure you have taken the note of the link for the SAP BTP, which we are starting from 17th of November. It would be Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. IST. Okay, so anyone who was interested to learn SAP BTP, it's very high in demand in market. Why? Because it is something new. That's why, and SAP with the RISE edition also, they are pushing the clients to move to BTP. So make sure you also take advantage of this course which we are going to start and get it enrolled. Thank you everyone for joining today and have a great day ahead. Bye bye for now.